What's up, guys? Welcome to this week's episode of Primetime Football. I'm your host, Alex Flair, here with my co-host, Sam Moko, and today we got a lot of international news to talk about. So let's go start off with Clint Dempsey.
Okay.
He's starting to come up on his years, and since MLS is over, what do you think is gonna go on with Clint Dempsey? Is he gonna?
I remember when he made the decision, which it came to a shock to me. He said he's done he was totally done at Spurs, and he came back to America. Yeah. And I think a lot of people were wondering, will he ever come back? And now I think there's a chance for them to kind of the Premier League teams that need a striker or a winger to kind of tempt him to come back. And I think that there's a chance because MLS is not going to be playing football until April, March.
April, yeah.
Yeah, just about.
He's been put through his paces. I think it's time for him to come back to MLS, and
I don't think he's done with the Premier League. Is what I'm trying to say. I just don't see it. He's about 27 years old. This is your peak moments.
But they vary for everyone. The peak moments do vary. Your peak moment could be 29, it could be 30. Usually it's not 30, but it could be Messi's 25. Mm-hmm. It could be Ronaldo's. Depending whenever you want to say his peak moment was. So it depends on the player, yeah.
Okay. Since you brought up Messi, I'll take the next lead. Lionel Messi got injured a week ago.
He's supposed to be at 6 to 8 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
So
he's done. He's missing about 8 La Liga games and a couple of international games, and he's not expected back.
He's done for the year.
Yeah,
basically.
January 2014.
I think Barcelona has been making the mistake they play him for every single game. Every game, if you look, he's there. They never give him a rest. He should have a rest, especially for the more important games. Instead of playing him for games that don't matter, smaller La Liga games, and having him score 4 goals when a 3-0 win could have been good for the team. Neymar could have had some more practice in the field. But they overwork him, in my opinion. That's what happened. That's why he comes at the.
But he is Barcelona's best player, and
he is, yes.
Yeah. But that's one thing that worries me whenever I'm sitting down watching football games is that you have physio staffs in the back that kind of work that out.
Yeah.
He's 26 years old, just about, yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder if his legs are that of a 26-year-old, because depending to bring up an English player, Michael Owen. Mm-hmm. Used to play a lot for Liverpool, and due to the fact that he played him so much, he was, let's say he's 30 years old, but his legs are so tired.
35. Yeah, he's put him at paces.
Yeah, same thing with Fernando Torres.
Yeah, I feel that was an error. That is an error on Barcelona's part. They should have played him less, and for the not so important games, they should have sat him out. Give him a rest. But, they did what they did, so now he has to go through the injury.
Keynote, that's about the 6th time that Messi has been injured this year.
6th time? Really?
Yeah.
In 20, a couple times, 3 times.
2013, with the same hamstring injury.
So true, because it's been...
But this is the longest he's been out. The longest prior to this has been, I think, 2 weeks.
2 weeks, yeah.
So, yeah. Let's switch it up. You know what
international.
This is? Yes.
It's International Week, so we have all the qualifying games. Well, sudden death qualifying games, let me add. There's a lot of interesting matchups. We do have my Portugal and Sweden play tomorrow. Yeah. Ibrahimovic and Ronaldo. We're going to see.
Is that the key matchup of the whole?
I think the thing is, the press and the media is going to focus more on them than the actual teams themselves. That's what they always do. Like Barcelona versus Real Madrid, they always focus on Ronaldo and Messi. Same thing. It always happens because the best top 5 best players in the world, and
plus controversy sells papers.
That's very true. So it could go to anyone right now, but it depends what team's going to want it more. Is Portugal going to slack and not play as well as they can? It's possible, but usually when they always put themselves in these sudden death, do or die kind of moments, and they usually prevail. Hopefully they can do that again this year, but they can only do that so many times, or else their luck's going to run out.
What other games fancies you?
France. It's not Ukraine, France.
It's
just France.
Every single time you say France, the first thought that comes to mind is the whole debacle in the South African World Cup, where the players showed up at the World Cup and said, "Oh, we're not playing.
We're not playing.
We're not playing for them."
That's the problem with France. There's too much controversy within the team behind closed doors that we don't know about.
But here's to their credit though. They kind of moved away from that, and they are a stronger team than compared to then.
Definitely. they're not gonna have to do that for this World Cup. You know, they're gonna have to put their stuff together and see what they can do. I mean, how about you?
I'm actually gonna look at the African matchup. Ethiopia versus Nigeria. You have one of the best teams in West Africa versus one of the best teams in East Africa. I kind of sort of rooting. I'm stuck a little bit. I'm kind of sort of rooting for Ethiopia because I really would want an East African team there, but
I mean, but I feel like Nigeria is the team that in history
it's
has done better, and they'll probably pull away with the win. I'm pretty sure. I mean, and then we have Greece, Romania. It's gonna be Greece.
Well, that's a tough one.
Actually, Romania is on that winning streak.
Yeah. It's on a 5-game winning streak with wins and 6 games. It's like 5 wins, 1 draw or something.
Yeah, 1 draw.
It's a tough one. I mean, I was leaning towards Greece, and I looked up that form.
Because Greece does always get lucky, same as Italy. They always come in the last minute and they score and they get in, this and that. But
kind of like how they won the 2002 Euro Cup.
Yeah, that's precisely. Yeah, that's literally what it is. I mean, and Romania is on that 5-game winning streak, so they're on fire. Teams, they're on fire, and they're going to continue with that forward momentum. I don't know. We'll see what they do.
All right. Next on the agenda, let's talk about, since we're talking about the international games. Let's talk about the jerseys.
The new jerseys they're coming out with.
Which one is your favorite one? Have you seen any?
See, it's not that I have a favorite one. I'll probably go with the Netherlands one because I do like the neon orange. I do have a couple Netherlands jerseys. But with that said, they're all the same. Every single New Jersey come out for the World Cup is the same because it's Adidas or Nike's way of selling more jerseys.
I despise that. I mean, you can same with that. You can see that like some of the designs that they have there are like designs from like 5 years ago. It's
just like the Brazilian jersey has that V-neck, and it's the same thing as the Brazilian jersey.
Well,
V-neck.
That kind of
old school one, basically.
It's a throwback. I love that because it kind of reminded me of Pele. Like the first person I saw rock that V-neck type jersey was Pele.
Yeah,
and it suits it because the jersey the game's going to be at Brazil.
Yeah.
So
I mean, pointless to me. Like my opinion is not going to change, but it's pointless. So.
I actually kind of I like the red one. The red Spain one is just it's plain. It's just it's red.
They want people to buy them. So I guess a lot of people prefer plain stuff. Like the Swedish one with the blue line in the middle, the blue on the top.
But I kind of like that because it's at least that's different compared to everything. Everything else, I mean,
that's true. That's true.
Look, the Uruguayan one is just light blue and that's it. I mean, there's no design into it, but basically, it is what it is.
It's just what it is. So, on that note, thanks for watching Primetime Football, and we'll see you next week.